guys, it's Lily. So today I am going to be filming a video that was requested for me to do by someone who has been emailing me recently. There is a couple people that I have been emailing back and forth recently because they have seen my depression videos and my videos of me like talking about my Christianity and stuff. And one of the emails I got was asking me for advice on how to not be afraid of God, just to kind of get answers to some questions that I know a lot of people have. And I just thought this was a really good idea for a video because I know there's a lot of questions that people ask. I feel like a lot of people have veered away from God because people have made up so many rumors and things that aren't true, and so people believe that and then they are afraid. So first, I have problems that people might be facing, like depression or anxiety or self-struggling. First of all, no matter what religion you are, no matter what you believe in, each religion doesn't care about your looks. No matter what you believe in, it doesn't matter what you look like. Really, the inside is all that matters. And the God that I serve, He made you. He made you to look what you look like now. He thinks that you're beautiful. This is especially hard for me, especially like since I'm a teenager, because I put myself down a lot and like I say mean things about myself, but my grandma told me like, don't do that because you're putting God down. If you're talking bad about yourself, you're like talking bad about God because He made you and He made you the way you are, and like you can't do anything about it. People are putting you down for the way you look that you can't change. It's like, what's the problem with them? You can't change your looks. I mean, I'm really short. I get pretty much teased for it every day, and all my life I've been teased for it. But I can't change it. I can't change my height. And I just come to realize that like it doesn't matter because it's the way God wanted me to be. Being true to yourself is really a big deal because not a lot of people are true to themselves and like go out with no makeup on and stuff because they're afraid of what other people are gonna think. But really, who cares about those people? Because honestly, in 10 years you're not gonna know those people. This is a really big thing, and like especially when I first bring up God to someone that doesn't believe in God or something like that. If God is real, then why doesn't He help me? And like that's a really big thing for anyone really, because a lot of people that don't have Christ in their lives or any religion in their life, when they go through a hard time, you don't have anything to lean back on. So I definitely understand where people get this, because if you haven't seen my depression and anxiety video, I'll leave it down below. I'll also leave down below my testimony story. You know that I have depression and anxiety and like I'm prone to it. And I never thought about God because I was just like, if there is a God, then why doesn't He help me? You know, if He loves us, why doesn't He help us? Well, I don't know if I've said this in another video, but you have to acknowledge Him first. And I know there's some people that can tell me differently. That's just what I believe. God can't come down to you if you're not open to Him. I mean, that's really with anything. Say you're really upset about something, but you don't want to talk to anyone about it. It's not going to get better if you don't talk to someone. They can't help you if you don't let them help you. So if you don't let God embrace you, it's like, that's why, because you're holding up a barrier. There's also other things like sacrificing things. Religion is about sacrificing things, but it's also about gaining 10 times more. That was the next point I was getting to, that He can give you everything and more if you just go to Him. I feel like we do not acknowledge God as much as we should because this world has just gone to a whole different place, and there's a whole different set of beliefs and rules and things. Sex before marriage is fine, and being an alcoholic and like getting drunk all the time is like fine. You know humanly that that is not fine, even though people do it, even though you might do it. You know in your heart and in your head that that's not like right, but you do it anyway because you have free will, so there's no one there to stop you. And then it's really hard once you get onto that stuff to stop and not think about that stuff ever again. That is a really hard thing for me because before I became a follower, like I would cuss so much. I would talk about sex like so much. And it's really hard for me to not talk about it. Like it's really hard for me not to engage in conversations like I still do. And it's just like something I've really been working on because yes, you won't be with the crowd. You're not gonna like participate in the conversations and then you're just gonna feel awkward and lonely and like, whoa, this is weird. And then you get reeled back in. But the thing is, you always have to keep this in mind. Even though you don't have that, there's a million more things that are better on the other side of that. Because he gives you whatever you want and more. And in ways that you couldn't even comprehend. Some people might not think that's true because they don't believe in that stuff. But I believe in it and because I have experienced it myself. But some people might not because they haven't experienced it. Even though you're giving up this thing, there's so much more better things. I hope that makes sense. But it really has been hard for me for like this whole year to stop and think about that and like not participate in it. And like that kind of goes along with all the pain can go away if you just find him. But it doesn't go away automatically. And this is why it's kind of hard for me to talk about God to non-believers because there is so much pain and so much struggle with the non-believers, especially with like depressed kids and all that stuff. Like I was one of them and I understand exactly where you're going through because you're just having so much pain. Like how can it just be taken away and like how can I love God? Like how? But then I tell them this. It might be hard to understand and it might be weird to understand, but like I just wanted to like sit on this. What I believe is that God sent Jesus down to this earth. He put himself in a man because he's God. He can do anything. Remember, I don't know if I told you this, but God is so mind-blowing. Like it's so hard to comprehend him because he's not us. So it's so hard to comprehend who God is. I feel like that's where a lot of people, they just get lost. So he sent Jesus down to this earth. Jesus was perfect because he was God's son. He is God. He's part of God. So he was perfect and he didn't sin, but we all have sinned. Every single one of us. That's that. So when God sent Jesus down, he was perfect and sent Jesus down to talk about him. So when he died, remember this, Jesus didn't have to die. I mean, he was human. He could make his own decisions, but he was a part of God. So he died for every single one of our sins. Every single sin from the beginning to the end of time. All the sins you're going to make, all the sins your kids are going to make, all the sins your grandkids are going to make, all the sins blah, 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 down, down, down until the end of time. He died for every single one of those sins. And there is proof that Jesus did die. He did die. Jesus was human. He was on this earth and he did die. So that means that he went through every single pain that you went through because he died for every single sin. The pain of every single person he went through because he died for all of us. And there's billions and billions of people that have been on this earth and that are on this earth and that will be on this earth. But he endured it because he's God. I understand that it's really hard to understand, but like, it's just amazing that someone died for all of us because he loved all of us, you know? A lot of people are scared to become Christians or become followers because they know that they've sinned. This is the thing, I've said this in my testimony. The people that have sinned drastically, that have like done the worst of sins, it doesn't matter because you could still be forgiven if you want to. Now, this is the thing, I've said this before, murderers and like terrorists and all that stuff, the thing with them is that they don't have God with them. So people say like, why would God let that happen? Like they did it themselves because they had free will. And people are like, well, what did they ask for forgiveness? Well, if they do ask for forgiveness, then yes, they will be forgiven. But the thing is, people that do that are sick in the head and they're not with God. It's like very, very rare that like people that kill hundreds and thousands of people, like they're gonna ask for forgiveness from God. I don't know if that makes sense. That's just my opinion on it. So yeah. I said on this, it says, when we love and are nice to people, it brings us happiness. And do you know why that is? Because when you're mean to someone, does it bring you joy? Most people are happy when they do things that are nice to people or love others. It just feels good. And you know why that is? It's because we are meant to do that. Us as human beings, we are meant to love and we are meant to be nice to people. So when we do that, we feel good because it's our natural instinct. And then when you're mean or when you do something bad and you feel guilty about that, that's not like something that we're meant to do. But we still do it because we have free will. So the last things I want to touch on are, don't listen to the world because the world is evil. And this is something that is really difficult to talk about because people don't understand me really when I say this. Having sex, like, this is a thing for me. And I've explained this to a couple of my friends, and I just really want to get this out. And I know a lot of people won't agree with me with this because it's a very, very big topic. People think it's not a big deal, and I understand that a lot of people don't think it's a big deal because, I mean, it's just so highly talked about. But what I feel is this isn't coming from a religious perspective. This is just coming from my perspective. Having sex is like giving that person a part of you. And especially people that are self-conscious. Like, you don't want to just show a random person yourself. Everyone has that little self-conscious moments. Just giving yourself to someone that doesn't even care about you, it's like not fair to yourself because you just gave that person yourself and they don't really care. You just gave them a part of yourself and you're not gonna be like seeing him ever again, you know? I just feel like it's just a very like big thing for me. I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but that's just how I feel. That's kind of all I'm going to say right now. If you have any questions, always ask me, like email me, direct message me on Instagram, Twitter. You can Snapchat me, like seriously, I'm everywhere if you would like to. But I just wanted to make this video and just like get my opinions out. And if you didn't agree with me, like that's fine. I don't really care. Like thumbs this video down, whatever. But like I know that I could help at least one person, and that's all that really matters, is if I'm helping one person. So anyway, I will see you guys in my next video, and I love you guys so much, and just you can talk to me anytime. Yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye. Oh, that wasn't good. I got center my lips, and I